Beloved, this is not a coincidence. You did not stumble upon these words by chance. This is your sign. The big win you have been waiting for is here. You have carried a vision within you, perhaps quietly, perhaps desperately. And I tell you now, that vision was never a fantasy. It was a prophecy. The very fact that you could imagine it was evidence enough that it already existed in the unseen. Too often we look outward for confirmation, waiting for a number to align, a door to open, a miracle to crash through the noise of our lives. But the true sign does not live out there, it lives within. The moment you feel the reality of your desire, as though it were already yours, the universe has no choice but to reflect it. We have birthed in its offspring. The big win is not in the future. The big win is now. Every time you allow yourself to inhabit the feeling of the prize already claimed, you collapse time and pull it into your present. Do not ask, when will it come? Instead declare, it is already mine. Do not wonder, is this the sign? Know this, the very fact that you are hearing these words at this exact moment is the undeniable sign. You ask for confirmation, and here it is. Step into it boldly, assume it fully, walk as though the victory were behind you, not ahead of you. For the moment you do, life bends, reality shifts, and what once seemed impossible arrives in the most natural of ways. The outer world mirrors the inner assumption. The wind shows up when you claim it within first. Nothing in your life happens by accident, and nothing in your reality is separate from the state you hold within yourself. Every event, every opportunity, every so-called coincidence that unfolds before you is born first in the unseen, in the quiet chambers of imagination, in the assumptions you carry about who you are and what belongs to you. Life does not deliver to you what you wish for with idle hope. It delivers what you are willing to assume as already yours. When you walk through life with the assumption that you are lucky, that opportunities favor you, that success is natural to you, the world bends to those assumptions. People appear in your path as helpers. Circumstances rearrange themselves, and doors open without force. It is not because life has suddenly decided to be kind to you, but because life has no choice but to echo the vibration you radiate through your belief. On the other hand, if you cling to assumptions of lack, struggle, or delay, the world will faithfully reflect those as well. You will see missed chances, closed doors, and repeated confirmations of your inner doubt. The great secret is this: you do not need to wait for proof before you assume the victory. The assumption itself is the proof. The win does not come to the one who hopes timidly, but to the one who claims boldly. To assume within is to claim ownership of your desire before the world can deny it. And when you do so, the outer world must eventually mirror that claim, for it is only a shadow cast by the inner light. Think of a mirror on the wall. It cannot show you a smile unless you smile first. It cannot reflect joy unless you bring joy to it. In the same way, your outer world cannot show you the big win unless you assume it within, unless you walk as though it were already accomplished. This is not about forcing reality. It is about embodying reality within your own consciousness. The moment you claim it inwardly, the game changes. The world begins to rearrange, events start to unfold, and what once felt far away begins to press into your present. So the real work is not to chase, not to plead, not to wait for signs from the outside. The real work is to step into the assumption now. Ask yourself, how would I feel if the win were already mine? What thoughts would I entertain? How would I speak? How would I carry myself? And then, without hesitation, begin to live from that state. Do not postpone it to tomorrow. Begin today, begin this very moment, because the win is not waiting somewhere in the future. It is here, wrapped in your assumption, waiting for you to open it. The outer world mirrors the inner assumption. And when you dare to claim the win inside, the world has no choice but to deliver it outside. A sign is not outside of you, but a reflection of your inner state. When you feel it, life confirms it. Too many people look to the skies, to numbers, to symbols, to dreams, hoping for some external validation that what they desire is on the way. They wait for a message, a coincidence, or a stroke of luck to tell them it is safe to believe. Yet the truth is that every so-called sign that shows up is only the mirror of the state you have already entered within yourself. Life cannot display anything you have not first impressed upon your own consciousness. When you are in doubt, the world will bring you more reasons to doubt. You will interpret every silence, every delay, every unanswered prayer as evidence that nothing is moving. But when you dwell in certainty, when you take on the feeling that your desire is already yours, suddenly life begins to echo that certainty back to you. Little nudges appear, not because they came from nowhere, but because you are finally in tune with what you once called impossible. The sign does not come to convince you. The sign comes after you have already convinced yourself. Imagine someone in love. They do not wait for proof that their beloved exists. They carry the feeling of being chosen and cherished, and soon life reveals a partner who mirrors that inner knowing. In the same way, when you feel the wind within, life finds 1,000 subtle ways to reflect it outward. A random conversation, a song lyric, a number on a screen, all seem to whisper, "Yes, it is done." But make no mistake, it is not the sign that gives birth to the state, it is the state that gives birth to the sign. This is why waiting for external confirmation only delays your blessing. You are the source of every sign you long to see. The moment you decide, the moment you accept the inner reality of your desire, life cannot help but project that decision outward in forms that look like synchronicity. The sign is simply the echo of your assumption. If you feel lack, you will see lack. If you feel abundance, abundance will reveal itself everywhere. So the true question is not, will I see a sign, but what am I already assuming to be true? If you assume loss, the world will confirm it. If you assume victory, the world will confirm it. Nothing shows up on your path that has not already been planted in the soil of your imagination. Therefore, stop scanning the horizon for proof. Stop waiting for numbers, dreams, or strangers to tell you what you already know. Instead, close your eyes and claim the reality you desire as though it were already finished. Feel the relief, the joy, the gratitude of it being yours now. That inner state is the seed, and life is faithful to grow whatever you plant. The signs will come, but they will only ever reflect what you first dared to feel. When you feel it, life confirms it. The big win is not coming, it already exists now in imagination. To speak of something as coming is to place it in a future that never truly arrives, for tomorrow is always tomorrow, and the future is always just beyond your grasp. But imagination collapses that distance. The moment you dare to hold the vision within, to feel its reality with all the certainty of something already accomplished, you remove the idea of waiting and step into the truth of having. What you call the big win is not a faraway possibility. It is a present reality within the unseen, waiting only for your recognition. Everything that ever appears in your outer world begins first as a seed in imagination. The house you live in, the clothes you wear, the job you hold, the relationships you cherish, all of it was once only a thought, an image, a possibility entertained in the invisible realm of mind. If the chair beneath you could once be nothing more than an idea, before it became wood and fabric, how much more real is the wind you carry in your inner vision? The imagination is not fantasy, it is creation's workshop. What is real in imagination must eventually find its echo in the visible. When you say the big win is coming, you put it at a distance. You unconsciously affirm that it is not yet yours, that it belongs to some other time. But when you declare that it already exists in imagination, you shift into possession. You no longer chase after it, you dwell in it. You no longer wait for life to deliver, you embody the delivery now. And this state of already having is the magnet that draws the outer reflection into form. Consider a dream that feels so vivid you wake up with the taste, the sound, the touch of it still upon you. For those moments it feels more real than the physical room you wake into. Imagination holds that same power. When you allow yourself to feel the win as though it were complete, Your body responds, your emotions align, and your mind begins to rearrange itself to match that reality. In that state, the so-called future is no longer future. It is now. This is why the greatest shift you can make is to stop waiting and start living as though it were finished. Do not treat the win as an uncertain event that may or may not happen. Treat it as an established fact, already accomplished in the invisible. Walk differently, speak differently, and think differently because of it. The more you inhabit this state, the more natural it becomes, until life itself has no choice but to reveal it outwardly. The big win is not traveling toward you from some distant place. It is already yours in the realm that births all reality, your imagination. The question is not whether it exists, but whether you will claim it now. When you see it and feel it within as though it were already here, you shift from waiting to receiving. And in that shift, the so-called future folds into the present, and the win that once seemed far away arrives in the most natural way. Your feeling of certainty is the bridge to your manifestation. Nothing else is required to carry you from the unseen to the seen except the unwavering assurance that what you desire is already yours. Certainty is not found in evidence, nor in statistics, nor in the opinions of others. Certainty is born within, from the choice to believe without conditions. When you rest in that inner knowing, you create the only bridge that matters, the bridge that connects imagination to reality. Every desire has two paths, one lined with doubt and delay, and the other paved with certainty and speed. When you doubt, you hesitate, you question, you look to the world for proof, and as you wait, the world waits with you. But when you stand in certainty, when you carry yourself as though your desire were already accomplished, the world moves to match your conviction. Life is not responding to your words, but to your state, and the state of certainty is magnetic. Think of a builder who lays the foundation of a bridge. If the foundation is unstable, the bridge collapses before anyone can cross. In the same way, your inner world collapses under the weight of doubt, when you cannot decide whether to believe. But when your certainty is firm, the bridge holds strong, and your manifestation travels across with ease. What once seemed unreachable becomes natural, inevitable, and even effortless. Certainty does not mean you will not face appearances that contradict your desire. It means you no longer let appearances dictate your truth. A cloudy sky does not erase the sun, it only hides it for a moment. In the same way, outer conditions may seem to deny your dream, but certainty keeps you aligned with the knowledge that the manifestation is already set in motion. It does not need to be proven. It needs only to be received. This feeling of certainty is not built by force but by assumption. Ask yourself, if it were already mine, how would I feel? If the prize were in my hands, if the answer were already delivered, what sense of relief, joy, or gratitude would I embody? And then, without hesitation, step into that feeling. Do not wait for the outer event to produce it. Produce it now, within yourself. That feeling is the bridge. It carries you across from lack to fulfillment, from longing to having. Everything you desire is already complete in the invisible. Certainty is the permission slip that allows it to take shape in the visible. Without it, you remain on one side of the river, gazing at what could be. With it, you walk across with confidence, and what once felt far away suddenly appears right before you. Your manifestation does not depend on time, luck, or chance. It depends on your willingness to claim certainty. Stand in it now, hold fast to it, and let that certainty be the bridge that delivers you to the life you already see in your imagination. To wait for proof is to delay the blessing. Proof comes only after you embody the end. The moment you decide that you cannot believe until you see evidence, you place yourself in an endless loop of waiting. Life will not show you confirmation until you have first given it the command through your assumption. The outer world is nothing more than the echo of the inner world, and to demand proof before belief is like asking a mirror to smile at you before you smile. The reflection will always come, but only after the original act. This is why so many desires seem delayed. It is not that they are far away, nor that they are difficult to attain. The only delay comes from the waiting, from the hesitation, from the refusal to step fully into the state of fulfillment now. The blessing is already alive in imagination. It is already complete in the unseen. But until you embody it, until you think from it, feel from it, and live from it, it cannot cross into form. Think of a gardener who refuses to plant seeds until the earth shows signs of growth. Such a gardener would wait forever. The soil cannot prove its power until the seed is placed within it. In the same way, life cannot prove your blessing until you plant the seed of assumption in your own consciousness. The harvest comes, but only to the one who dares to sow. Proof is never the starting point. It is always the result. The end you hold in imagination is not a wish but a reality that already exists. When you embody the end, when you take on the feeling of the desire fulfilled, you set in motion the only power that matters. The world must eventually fall in line, arranging itself in ways that seem impossible to reason, yet inevitable to faith. Circumstances shift, people appear, opportunities unfold, and all of it flows naturally to confirm what you have already claimed within. Waiting for proof is nothing more than giving power to appearances. Appearances will always mirror the state you hold. If you wait in doubt, appearances will confirm doubt. If you wait in fear, appearances will confirm fear. But when you walk in the end, when you refuse to wait another moment, appearances eventually bow and reflect the certainty you embody. The great mistake is thinking that proof comes first and belief follows. In truth, belief comes first and proof follows. The blessing cannot reveal itself to the one who withholds faith until it arrives. It reveals itself to the one who dares to live from the end as though the blessing were already present. So do not wait any longer. Refuse to delay what is already yours. Embody the end now. Feel it as finished. Live as though it is complete. And know that proof must appear in its own time. To wait is to postpone. To believe now is to receive now. The blessing is not delayed. Only your assumption delays it. Proof will come, but it will only ever come after you have embodied the end. The sign you seek is the very desire that burns within you. It is your permission slip to receive. How often do people beg the heavens for confirmation, pleading for a symbol or an omen to tell them that what they want is on the way? Yet the very desire that rises in their heart is already the answer. You would not feel the longing if it were not already yours in another dimension of being. Desire is never random, nor is it a cruelty. It is the echo of a reality calling you into alignment. The great mistake is to treat desire as something separate from its fulfillment. Many wait for signs outside themselves, a dream, a word, a number, a coincidence. But the truest sign has already been given. It is the burning within you, the pulse that refuses to quiet, the image that keeps returning, no matter how often you try to set it aside. That desire is not there to torment you, it is there to invite you. It is life saying, "This belongs to you, claim it." When you accept this truth, you stop asking whether you are worthy, whether it is possible, or whether it will come. The desire itself is the proof of worthiness. It is your permission slip to receive. If it were not meant for you, it would not exist in your imagination. Just as a bird is not given a longing to swim, and a fish is not given the hunger to fly, you are not given a desire without also being given the means for its fulfillment. The fact that you feel it is enough. This is why you must stop searching for confirmation in the outer world. The outer world will only ever reflect back the state you choose to hold. If you walk in doubt, you will see delay. If you walk in faith, you will see unfolding. But in either case, the true sign remains the same. The desire that burns inside you. It is the seed. And, like every seed, it carries within it the blueprint of its own completion. So instead of asking for proof, embrace the desire as proof. Instead of wondering if it is possible, recognize that its very existence in you is evidence that it already exists in creation. Your only task is to assume it as done, to accept the permission slip you have already been handed, and to step boldly into the feeling of fulfillment. When you do this, something shifts. You stop chasing and begin receiving. You stop doubting and begin embodying. The desire becomes not a painful reminder of what you lack, but a joyful reminder of what is already yours. The sign is not out there. The sign is in you, burning, urging, and waiting for your acceptance. So hear this clearly. The desire you carry is not a maybe, not a trick, not an illusion. It is the truest sign you will ever need. It is your permission slip to receive. Accept it, embody it, and let life confirm it in ways you could never predict. And so we return to where we began, the truth that the win is not outside of you, not waiting in some far-off tomorrow, but alive within you now. The outer world mirrors your inner assumption. Signs are nothing more than reflections of your inner state, and proof only comes after you dare to embody the end. Your certainty is the bridge, and your desire itself is the permission slip that grants you the right to receive. The big win is not on the way, it already exists, and the moment you claim it within, life rushes to confirm it without. So walk in the fullness of your desire. Speak from the place of completion. Feel the joy of the wish fulfilled, for that feeling is the evidence, and that evidence is the seed of all manifestation. Do not wait, do not question, and do not beg for signs. The sign is you, the state you choose now, and the knowing that you have already won. Thank you for sharing this moment, for opening your heart to these words, and for daring to believe in the power that is already yours. May you step forward with certainty. May you claim your win boldly, and may life confirm it in ways beyond your imagination.
You've been taught to believe that reality is what you see, touch, and hear. But I am here to tell you that what you perceive as reality is nothing more than a shadow of what you truly believe. Your present circumstances, your financial situation, your career, your relationships are simply the effects of past thoughts and decisions. They are not permanent. The key to wealth and abundance is not in focusing on the world as it is, but in ignoring it entirely. Ignore what you see, ignore the current state of things, and instead focus on what you wish to see. Shift your focus from the present moment. What you see around you is simply a reflection of the past. It doesn't matter if your bank account is empty or if your dreams seem out of reach. The moment you accept the present as permanent, you stop creating. But if you shift your focus to the life you wish to live, if you start imagining it now, you are sowing the seeds for a new reality. Stop giving attention to what's in front of you and give your power to what could be. Assume the state of wealth you seek. The secret is in assumption. You don't need to wait for your circumstances to align. Assume you are already wealthy. Feel it in your body, think it in your mind, and believe it in your soul. Wealth is not a distant dream, it is a present reality that only needs to be assumed to become real. When you do this, your mind begins to draw everything toward you that you need to manifest it. Your assumption is powerful, and it shapes everything around you. Imagination creates reality. Your imagination is the creative force within you. Everything you desire is first born in your mind. Begin imagining yourself living the life you dream of. Feel the emotions of having wealth, the joy of financial freedom, the security and power that come with abundance. As you immerse yourself in this feeling, you are creating your new reality. The world around you will begin to shift to match the image you've created in your mind. Let go of doubt. Doubt is the opposite of faith. Whenever you are confronted with fear, lack, or limitation, replace it with a vision of abundance. Don't give attention to the facts that the world presents to you. What you see is temporary. What you imagine and believe is eternal. Let go of any thought that does not support the vision of wealth you are creating. Ignore the present reality, it is only temporary. When you live in the end, you act, think, and feel as if your desire is already fulfilled. You must see yourself already living in abundance. You must feel the joy, the freedom, and the certainty of it. The more you embody the end result, the faster it will manifest. Your mind will guide your actions, and the universe will align itself to reflect your belief. faith in your inner power. Never forget that the power to create wealth lies within you. It is not the circumstances of your outer world that matter, but the power of your inner world. The imagination, the assumption, and the belief in your inner potential are what create your reality. When you have faith in yourself, when you trust your ability to manifest, everything you desire will be drawn to you. So, ignore the reality you see. Ignore the limitations and the obstacles. Focus on what you wish to create. Assume the state of wealth, let go of doubt, live in the end, and trust in your power. Your wealth is already yours, you simply need to claim it. The first step toward breaking free from the limitations of your current circumstances is to acknowledge them without resistance. It is important to understand that what you see and experience right now is not a permanent reflection of who you are or what you can achieve. The reality in front of you, the financial struggles, the challenges, the setbacks, is simply a temporary condition, a result of past thoughts, beliefs, and actions. These circumstances, however tangible they may seem, do not define you. They are nothing more than echoes of what you once believed was possible. In order to break free from these constraints, you must stop fighting them. Fighting against your current reality only gives it more power and attention. It reinforces the belief that your present situation is insurmountable and unchangeable. Instead of struggling against the obstacles in your way, shift your focus entirely away from them. The more attention you give to the limitations in your life, the more they expand. If you continually focus on your lack of wealth, your current struggles, or your fears, you are inadvertently giving them power. You are feeding them with your thoughts and emotions, making them stronger. To truly get rich, you must stop giving your power to what you see in front of you. Your external world is a reflection of your inner world, and the current state of things is only a manifestation of what you have previously thought, felt, and believed. But this is where the power of imagination comes into play. Your imagination is not limited by what is happening around you. It is the portal through which you can step into a new world, one where abundance and wealth already exist. The moment you begin to shift your focus from the present circumstances to the life you desire, you are starting to change the very fabric of your reality. You must learn to see beyond the physical world around you. The riches you seek are not confined to the limitations of your current environment. They exist in the realm of possibility, in the world of your imagination. The more vividly you can imagine the life of wealth, success, and freedom you desire, the more real it becomes in your mind. And as it becomes real in your mind, it begins to manifest in your life. It is essential to recognize that the present reality is not permanent. It is simply a reflection of the past. Your current circumstances were once only thoughts and beliefs in your mind, and the same is true of your future. The future you desire, one filled with wealth, abundance, and success, already exists in the realm of imagination. The key is to stop focusing on what you see now and start focusing on what you want to see. When you consistently give your attention to the vision of yourself as successful and wealthy, you begin to align your inner world with that reality. By shifting your focus, you stop identifying with the limitations and start identifying with the success that is already yours. You are no longer defined by what you currently experience. You are defined by the vision you hold in your mind and the belief that it is already yours. The more you live from that place of inner conviction, the more the outer world begins to shift in your favor. Opportunities will appear, doors will open, and you will find yourself on the path to wealth and abundance. Your true power lies not in the circumstances that surround you, but in the ability to imagine and believe in the life you desire. When you focus on the possibilities instead of the limitations, you open the door to your future. The present moment is temporary. It is your imagination that holds the power to shape your destiny. Shift your focus and watch as the world around you changes. To transform your life and manifest the wealth you desire, you must embrace the power of assumption. This is not about waiting for the world around you to change or for external circumstances to align with your desires. The key is to assume the state of abundance you seek right now in the present moment. Your external world is simply a reflection of your inner assumptions. If you want to live a life of wealth, you must first assume that you already are wealthy. This assumption has the power to reshape your reality. Assuming the state of abundance means adopting the mindset, the feelings, and the actions of someone who is already living the life of their dreams. It means seeing yourself as rich, regardless of what your current situation may look like. You do not need to wait for your bank account to reflect your dreams before you start living as though you already have everything you desire. By assuming the state of abundance, you are telling your subconscious mind that wealth is not a distant goal but an ongoing reality. The more you adopt this state, the more the world around you will conform to this belief. To truly embody this state, you must begin by feeling rich. Wealth is not just about numbers or material possessions, it is a state of mind and emotion. When you feel abundant, you attract abundance. Begin to feel the emotions associated with wealth: confidence, security, excitement, joy, and freedom. When you imagine yourself as someone who is already rich, immerse yourself in the emotions of that reality. Feel the satisfaction of financial freedom, the excitement of endless opportunities, and the joy of living a life on your terms. The more real these emotions feel to you, the more powerfully they will influence your reality. You must act rich. How does a wealthy person behave? How do they carry themselves? How do they make decisions? And how do they interact with the world? Start living as if you are already wealthy. You don't need to spend beyond your means, but you can carry yourself with the confidence and poise of someone who knows their value. You can make decisions with certainty, not hesitating because you fear lack. You can take actions that align with your goals, regardless of how small they may seem. When you act rich, you signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. This energy attracts opportunities, resources, and people who resonate with your assumption of wealth. You must think rich. Your thoughts are the building blocks of your reality. Wealthy people think in terms of abundance, opportunity, and possibility. They do not entertain thoughts of scarcity or limitation. Every time a thought of lack or insecurity arises, replace it with one of wealth and abundance. Affirm to yourself that you are deserving of all the wealth the world has to offer. The more you align your thoughts with the state of abundance, the more this state will become your reality. The assumption of wealth is not a one-time practice, it is a continuous way of living. It requires that you embody the mindset, feelings, and actions of someone who already has everything they desire. When you consistently live in the assumption of abundance, you begin to shape your reality to reflect that assumption. The universe will respond to the energy you project, bringing the people, circumstances, and opportunities necessary for you to manifest your desires. Your assumption will determine your outcome. What you believe to be true about yourself and your world will unfold before you. Your power is in the assumption you hold about your life. By assuming the state of abundance, you align your inner world with the wealth you seek. It is not a matter of waiting for something to change, it is a matter of living as if the change has already happened. The more you live in the assumption of abundance, the more your reality will reflect it. Your imagination is the most powerful tool you have for creating the reality you desire. It is the key that unlocks the door to all your dreams, desires, and ambitions. Every thought you have, every image you create in your mind is shaping the future you will experience. Imagination is not merely a fantasy or a passing daydream, it is the process through which you align your inner world with your outer world. If you want to manifest wealth, success, or any other goal, you must first envision it in your mind as already being true. The process of creating your desired reality begins with vivid mental imagery. This means that you must clearly picture yourself already living the life of affluence you seek. The mind cannot distinguish between what is imagined and what is physically real. When you visualize wealth, your mind accepts it as truth. The more you vividly imagine yourself living in abundance, the more your subconscious mind begins to accept this as your new reality. You must see the money flowing effortlessly into your life. Visualize every detail, how it feels to check your bank account and see the balance you desire, the luxurious lifestyle you lead, and the opportunities that present themselves to you. But visualization alone is not enough. You must also incorporate the emotional aspect of this experience. Emotions are the fuel that gives power to your imagination. When you visualize yourself in a state of abundance, you must also feel the emotions that come with it. Feel the excitement, the joy, the sense of security, and the freedom that wealth brings. The more intensely you can feel these emotions as if they are happening in the present moment, the more real your imagined reality becomes to your subconscious mind. Your emotions are the energy that will bring your visualizations into physical manifestation. It's not enough to merely imagine yourself rich, you must believe that you are already rich. Imagination is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. When you imagine yourself in a state of affluence, you are not creating something new, you are tapping into a reality that already exists. The key is to assume that this imagined state is your current reality. You must feel the emotions of abundance now, in the present moment. By doing this, you activate the law of attraction, which draws the physical manifestation of your desires into your life. It is important to remember that the more time and energy you invest in your imagination, the stronger the connection becomes between your inner world and the outer world. What you focus on in your mind will eventually show up in your life. Your thoughts are a powerful force, and by consistently imagining yourself already living the life you desire, you align yourself with the energy of that reality. You can use this technique at any time, in any place, to create the life you want. Spend time each day visualizing your desired outcomes. Close your eyes, vividly picture your goals as already achieved, and feel the emotions associated with that success. As you do this, you will notice changes in your mindset and behavior. You will begin to act in ways that align with your new imagined reality. Opportunities will start to appear, people will show up who can help you. And you will find that you are more confident in your ability to manifest your desires. Imagination is not just a passive activity. It is a powerful force that shapes your world. Your imagination is your creative power, and it is through this power that you bring your dreams into physical form. By visualizing your desires with vivid detail and feeling the emotions associated with them, you are setting the stage for your reality to shift. Your imagination creates your reality, so imagine the life you want. Feel the emotions of living that life, and watch as the world around you transforms. Doubt is the greatest obstacle standing between you and the manifestation of your desires. It acts as a powerful barrier, holding you back from realizing your true potential and achieving the life you've envisioned. Whenever doubt enters your mind, whether in the form of thoughts of lack, fear, or limitation, it disrupts the flow of energy necessary to bring your dreams into reality. Doubt is the enemy of manifestation because it aligns you with the very reality you want to avoid, a reality of scarcity, uncertainty, and unfulfilled desires. To manifest what you want, you must learn to let go of doubt completely and replace it with a stronger, more empowering belief in your success. The first step in overcoming doubt is to recognize it when it arises. Doubt often appears in the form of thoughts that challenge the possibility of your desires coming true. You may hear inner voices telling you that it's impossible, that you're not capable, or that your goals are too far out of reach. These thoughts are rooted in fear and past experiences, but they do not represent your true potential. When doubt shows up, it is important to replace it immediately with a powerful, positive image of your success. Shift your focus away from the negative thoughts and refocus on the vision you hold for your future. The more vividly you can imagine yourself living the life you desire, the more real it becomes in your mind, and the more it starts to manifest in your world. Do not give your attention to the world around you. What you see with your physical eyes is only a reflection of past thoughts and beliefs. It is the result of what you have previously imagined and assumed to be true. Your current circumstances are not permanent, they are just a temporary projection of your past mental state. The key to manifesting your desires is to focus not on the present reality, but on the future you are creating. The world around you may look like it's not aligning with your vision right now, but that does not mean you should give up on your dreams. The present moment is not an accurate reflection of your potential. The future you want is not bound by the limitations of the present. Every time a thought of doubt or limitation arises, replace it instantly with a stronger, more powerful image of success. Visualize the end result you desire with all the clarity and detail you can muster. See yourself living the life you want as if it is happening right now. Feel the emotions associated with your success, the joy, the pride, the freedom, and the satisfaction. The stronger you can make these feelings, the more you will align yourself with the reality of your desires. When you focus on the future you're creating and hold the belief that it is already yours, you raise your vibration to match that reality. One of the most important things to remember is that doubt is only a reflection of your old way of thinking. It is not a reflection of who you truly are or what you are capable of. The more you focus on the future you are creating, the more the present moment will begin to shift. The external world will start to reflect the changes you've made within yourself. By letting go of doubt and replacing it with the unwavering belief that your desires are already on their way, you allow the universe to align with your intentions. Their manifestation requires faith and trust. You must trust that the universe is working in your favor, even when you cannot see immediate evidence of it. Trust that every thought, every feeling, and every image you hold in your mind is creating the path toward your success. When you release doubt and replace it with unwavering belief, you are giving the universe the green light to bring your desires into physical form. Let go of doubt and trust in the process. Your dreams are already unfolding, they simply need you to keep your focus on the future you're creating and not the limitations of the present. Living in the end is one of the most powerful principles you can adopt in the process of manifesting your desires. It requires you to envision yourself already having what you seek and to operate from that place of completion rather than striving or hoping for something in the future. Most people approach their goals by focusing on what they don't yet have, but the secret to manifestation is to live as though you already possess everything you desire. When you do this, you shift your energy and align your thoughts, feelings, and actions to make your desires a physical reality. To live in the end means to fully imagine yourself at your desired destination, not as something distant or far off, but as something present and already achieved. You must see yourself already wealthy, successful, and abundant. Picture your life as though you are living the reality you've always dreamed of. See the money flowing, feel the joy of financial freedom, and immerse yourself in the emotions that come with living in your desired state. The key is to adopt this mindset not as a temporary exercise, but as your new way of being. When you assume the end result, your actions and thoughts will naturally align with it. It's important to remember that living in the end is not about waiting for things to change. It is about changing your internal state to reflect the reality you want to create. When you act, think, and feel as though you have already reached your goal, you send a powerful message to the universe that you are ready to receive. You are no longer in a state of wanting or lacking. Instead, you are in a state of having, knowing that what you desire is already yours. This shift in perspective is what begins to draw your desires into your physical world. Your mind is a powerful tool, and by consistently thinking and feeling as though you already have what you seek, you begin to attract the conditions and circumstances that will bring that reality into being. Your thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions shape your reality, and when you live as though your desires have already been fulfilled, your mind will naturally align with that assumption. You will begin to think differently, make decisions that align with your desired outcome, and take actions that reflect the certainty that you are already living the life you want. In addition to thinking and feeling as though you are already there, living in the end also means acting as if. This doesn't mean pretending or faking it, but truly embodying the energy of success. Act with the confidence of someone who has already achieved their goals. Make decisions with the certainty that you are already wealthy, successful, or abundant. Your behavior will begin to reflect this new state of being, and as you continue to act from this place of fulfillment, you will begin to see your external circumstances start to change. Opportunities will arise that align with your new mindset, and people will show up who are in harmony with your vision. Living in the end also involves trusting the process. You may not immediately see the physical evidence of your desires, but when you maintain the belief that your goal has already been achieved, you allow the universe to work behind the scenes to bring it into reality. Trust that the universe is working in your favor, and that everything is aligning for your highest good. By living in the end, you are affirming to the universe that you are in harmony with the outcome you desire. This alignment will bring your dreams to life. The key to manifestation is not to focus on the gap between where you are and where you want to be, but to focus on the reality that you are already living the life you desire. When you consistently live from this place of already having achieved your goal, your mind, body, and reality will align to make it a physical truth. Living in the end is the most powerful way to create the life you desire. The power to create the life you desire lies within you, waiting to be unlocked. It is easy to look outside yourself for the solutions to your problems, to seek wealth, success, or happiness in the external world. But the truth is that all the power you need to manifest these desires already resides within you. It is your imagination, your assumptions, and your unwavering faith that will bring your dreams into reality. The key to unlocking this power is to trust in your inner world, knowing that it holds the ability to shape the outer world around you. When you trust in your inner power, you recognize that what you imagine, assume, and believe will ultimately shape your external reality. The world you see around you is simply a reflection of the thoughts and beliefs you hold within. If you want to experience wealth and abundance, you must first cultivate the belief that you are worthy of it, and that it is already yours. Your inner world, the thoughts you think, the assumptions you make, and the emotions you feel has the power to create your outer world. You do not need to look for wealth outside of yourself. You must instead look within and trust that your inner state is what determines your external circumstances. Faith in your inner power means knowing that you are not subject to the whims of chance or circumstance. You have the ability to create your reality through your thoughts and beliefs. When you believe that your desires are already fulfilled, when you feel the emotions of having what you want right now, you are tapping into the immense creative power within you. This faith is not just a passive belief, it is a knowing that what you imagine and assume to be true will manifest in your life. Your faith acts as a magnet, drawing to you the circumstances, people, and opportunities that align with your inner vision. The act of assuming the end result, the wealth, the success, the abundance, is the key to manifestation. When you live from the assumption that your desires are already realized, you align yourself with the energy of that reality. You begin to see your world differently, noticing the opportunities and possibilities that were always there, but that you were previously blind to. When you trust in your inner power, you can confidently move through life, knowing that you are actively creating the life you want. You no longer wait for the world to change, you change your inner world, and the outer world follows. The most powerful tool you have in manifesting your desires is your imagination. It is through your imagination that you begin to see your goals as already achieved. When you create vivid mental images of your desires and feel the emotions associated with those images, you are communicating with the universe in a way that aligns with your true desires. The more you imagine yourself living the life you want, the more real it becomes in your mind. Your mind cannot tell the difference between what is imagined and what is physically real. So when you imagine yourself already wealthy, successful, or fulfilled, you are planting the seeds for that reality to grow. Believing that your desires are already done is the most powerful form of faith. When you believe that your goals have already been achieved, you no longer feel the need to chase or force things into existence. You trust that the universe is responding to your inner state and that everything is unfolding perfectly. Your belief in the unseen, that which is not yet manifested in the physical world, allows you to operate from a place of certainty. You know that what you have imagined is already on its way to you. This faith brings with it a sense of peace and trust, And as you continue to believe in your inner power, the external world will begin to reflect that belief. Beloved, the world is a stage, and every individual upon it is an actor. Yet beneath the surface of their roles lies the unspoken truth, the essence of their being, that can be unveiled by those attuned to its signs. If you seek to understand others deeply, you must first quiet your own mind, for a chaotic mind cannot perceive clarity. The eyes are portals. Look into the eyes, for they cannot hide. The flicker of doubt, the gleam of joy, or the cloud of sadness will always betray the spoken word. Trust what you see, not just what you hear. Body language whispers truth. Observe the body. A tightened jaw, crossed arms, or a slight lean forward can tell you more than 1,000 words. The body never lies, for it is the subconscious speaking in motion. The tone of voice carries intent. The tone with which words are spoken carries energy. A quiver of hesitation, a sharp edge of anger, or the warmth of sincerity. Listen closely, for tone often conveys what words conceal. Brief, involuntary facial expressions reveal true emotions. These fleeting moments are like lightning, visible for a split second, yet full of meaning for those who can catch them. Energy field resonance. Every person radiates energy, a unique vibration that speaks volumes. If their energy feels heavy or uplifting, take note. This resonance is your subconscious reading the unspoken. Patterns of behavior. Watch for consistency. A kind act repeated speaks of a generous spirit, while a repeated slight reveals hidden resentment. Patterns are the breadcrumbs leading to a person's character. Choice of words. Words are not chosen by accident. Listen to what they emphasize, what they avoid, and how they frame their reality. This choice reflects the inner narrative they live by. Response to silence. When you offer silence, observe their reaction. Some fill it nervously, while others bask in its peace. How they respond tells you much about their inner world. These signs are not mere tricks, but a call to heightened awareness. When you seek to understand others, you must first learn to understand yourself. In mastering these observations, you step into a world where nothing is hidden, where the veil of pretense is lifted, and truth stands bare. The key to reading others lies in your ability to listen not with your ears alone, but with your entire being. Your ability to read others begins with a profound understanding of yourself. Awareness is the lens through which we perceive the world, and it determines not only what we see, but how we interpret it. To read others effectively, you must first refine your own awareness, your ability to remain present, observe without judgment, and tune into the subtle signals that surround you. The key lies not in forceful effort, but in the quieting of your own mind, for a mind consumed by noise cannot perceive the delicate whispers of truth that others reveal. Every person carries within them a story, a truth that they may not even consciously know they are sharing. This truth is not always spoken in words. It resides in the pauses between sentences, the way their eyes shift when a particular topic is mentioned, or the slight tension in their shoulders as they speak. These are the subtle cues that awareness allows you to notice. They are always there, like the faint fragrance of a flower carried on the wind, but they are easily overlooked by those who rush through life or are too consumed by their own thoughts. Awareness is not simply about paying attention, it is about attunement. It is the ability to feel the energy in the room, to sense the underlying emotion in someone's tone, and to notice the tiny, almost imperceptible changes in their demeanor. This attunement requires you to be fully present, not lost in the past or projecting into the future, but anchored firmly in the now. When you cultivate this presence, you begin to see the layers beneath the surface, the unspoken truths that others carry with them. To develop such awareness, you must begin by turning inward. What do you notice about your own reactions when you encounter certain people or situations? What emotions arise in you and why? By becoming conscious of your internal world, you sharpen your ability to recognize similar patterns in others. It is as though you become a finely tuned instrument, capable of picking up even the faintest vibrations. Once you have cultivated this inner awareness, the external world begins to reveal itself in astonishing detail. You see beyond the masks people wear and into the essence of who they are. You notice the hesitancy in their voice when they are unsure, the brightness in their eyes when they are truly happy, and the heaviness in their posture when they are burdened by unseen troubles. These subtle cues are the language of truth, and awareness is the translator. The beauty of awareness is that it not only helps you read others, but also deepens your compassion for them. You begin to understand that everyone carries their own struggles and triumphs, and this understanding allows you to respond with greater empathy and wisdom. Awareness transforms your perception of the world, revealing its secrets not as something to be manipulated, but as an invitation to connect more deeply with others. In cultivating awareness, you do not need to strive or push. Instead, you must simply allow. Let go of distractions, quiet your mind, and open yourself to the present moment. When you do, the world unfolds before you, and its truths are no longer hidden. This is the power of awareness. It is the key that unlocks the profound depths of human connection. Emotions are the most honest form of human expression. While words can be carefully crafted to conceal, emotions have a way of seeping through, reflected in body language, facial expressions, and even the smallest gestures. To truly understand another person, you must learn to observe these emotional cues with both attention and empathy. Emotions act as mirrors, reflecting the inner state of a person, often revealing truths they may not even be aware of themselves. Consider the way a person's face changes when they experience joy, sadness, anger, or fear. These expressions, though fleeting at times, speak volumes about their current state of mind. A smile might not always signify happiness. Sometimes it is a shield to mask discomfort or pain. Similarly, a furrowed brow or tightened jaw can betray underlying tension or frustration, even if the person claims to feel fine. By paying close attention to these subtle cues, you can begin to decipher the emotions that words fail to convey. Body language is another powerful indicator of emotional truth. The way someone sits, stands, or moves can tell you more about their feelings than they realize. An open posture with relaxed shoulders and uncrossed arms often indicates comfort and ease, while a closed posture, arms folded tightly, body turned away, may suggest defensiveness or unease. A tapping foot or restless hands can signal anxiety, just as a slow, deliberate pace in movement can reflect calmness or contemplation. Observing these patterns requires you to look beyond the surface and tune into the flow of emotions that shape a person's actions. Tone of voice is also a reflection of emotion. Even when someone's words appear neutral, the way they speak, whether hurried or measured, soft or loud, steady or trembling, carries the imprint of their inner world. Listen carefully, not just to the words, but to the music of their speech. A rising pitch might indicate excitement or nervousness, while a monotone voice could suggest detachment or fatigue. These vocal nuances are often overlooked, but can provide deep insights into how someone truly feels. Learning to read emotions requires more than observation, it demands empathy. When you approach others with genuine curiosity and a non-judgmental attitude, you create a space where their emotions can unfold naturally. Empathy allows you to see their emotional state not as something foreign, but as a shared human experience. This connection deepens your understanding and strengthens your ability to interpret their feelings accurately. It is important to remember that emotions are complex and layered. A person may experience conflicting feelings at once, such as joy mixed with sadness or anger laced with fear. These nuances require you to observe with patience and an open heart. Avoid rushing to conclusions based solely on one expression or gesture. Instead, look for patterns and context to form a clearer picture of their emotional state. By mastering the art of reading emotions, you not only enhance your ability to understand others, but also enrich your own emotional intelligence. When you recognize that emotions are the mirror of the soul, you gain a profound tool for connection, compassion, and communication. Emotions, when understood, become a bridge between hearts, offering a glimpse into the shared humanity that unites us all. Words hold tremendous power, but their true significance often lies beneath the surface. When people speak, they are not merely conveying information, they are revealing fragments of their inner world, whether intentionally or unintentionally. To understand someone deeply, you must learn to listen not just to what is spoken, but also to what is left unsaid. Words are like windows, offering glimpses into a person's thoughts, emotions, and truths that might otherwise remain hidden. Every word a person chooses carries meaning, but so does the way they structure their sentences, the pauses they take, and the topics they avoid. Language is layered, and beneath the surface lies a wealth of unspoken information. For example, someone might say, "I'm fine," while their tone and hesitation suggest otherwise. The simplicity of the words belies the complexity of the emotions behind them. To truly understand the deeper truth, you must learn to read between the lines, paying attention to the subtle nuances that words often conceal. People unconsciously reveal themselves through patterns in their speech. The repetition of certain phrases or the emphasis placed on specific ideas can indicate what truly matters to them. A person who repeatedly mentions how busy they are might not just be describing their schedule, but could be signaling feelings of stress, overwhelm, or even a desire for validation. Similarly, someone who frequently downplays their achievements may be struggling with self-doubt or seeking reassurance. These recurring themes in conversation are like breadcrumbs, leading you to a person's inner narrative. Silence is just as revealing as speech. When a person hesitates or changes the subject, they are often communicating something significant. Silence can indicate discomfort, fear of judgment, or an unwillingness to confront certain truths. It is in these moments of unspoken tension that a person's vulnerabilities become most apparent. By remaining attentive to what is not being said, you can uncover the emotions and thoughts they might be hesitant to express openly. Listening to words also involves paying attention to the energy behind them. The same sentence can carry vastly different meanings depending on the tone, pace, and emphasis used. A quick, sharp delivery might indicate frustration or impatience, while a slow, deliberate tone could suggest thoughtfulness or caution. The energy behind the words often reveals more than the words themselves, providing valuable insights into a person's emotional state and intentions. To truly hear what someone is communicating, you must approach every conversation with curiosity and an open mind. Avoid making assumptions or rushing to conclusions. Instead, focus on the entirety of the communication, the words, the silences, and the unspoken undertones. This requires patience and a willingness to look beyond the obvious, to see the layers of meaning that lie beneath the surface. By learning to listen in this way, you gain a deeper understanding of others and create a space for authentic connection. Words are not just tools for exchanging information, they are windows into the soul, revealing the truths that shape a person's reality. When you listen with intention and empathy, you unlock the power of these windows, allowing you to see the world through their eyes and understand their hearts. Energy is the invisible force that surrounds and emanates from every person. Long before someone utters a word or makes a gesture, their energy has already communicated something profound. It is the vibration of their presence, the unspoken resonance that tells you more about them than their words or actions ever could. Energy never lies. It is a reflection of a person's true state, how they feel, what they believe, and the intentions they carry within them. To sense this energy, you must trust your intuition, for it is the most attuned and reliable tool you possess. When you enter a room, you can often feel its energy without knowing why. Some spaces feel warm and inviting, while others feel tense or uneasy. This is because the collective energy of the people within it shapes the atmosphere. Similarly, each individual carries a distinct vibration, and by attuning yourself to it, you can perceive truths that lie beyond the surface. A person's energy might radiate kindness, confidence, sincerity, or it might feel guarded, restless, or even deceptive. These subtle vibrations are not something you can see with your eyes, but you can feel them deeply if you allow yourself to be still and receptive. Your intuition is the key to interpreting energy. It is that quiet inner voice, that subtle nudge, which often senses what your rational mind cannot immediately explain. Have you ever met someone and felt an instant connection, or conversely, a strong aversion without understanding why? That is your intuition responding to their energy. While logic might urge you to dismiss these feelings as irrational, they are often your most accurate guide. Intuition operates beyond words and reasoning. It is a direct perception of truth, unfiltered by biases or expectations. Energy reveals authenticity or the lack of it. When a person's words and actions align with their true self, their energy feels harmonious and genuine. You sense their presence as whole and unwavering, even if they are quiet or reserved. On the other hand, when someone is masking their intentions or projecting a facade, their energy feels fragmented or inconsistent. They may smile and speak kindly, but something in their presence feels off, as though their inner and outer selves are misaligned. Trust these impressions, for energy cannot be faked. To become attuned to energy, you must first quiet your own. A restless mind or distracted heart cannot perceive the subtleties of another's vibration. Practice grounding yourself in the present moment, free from judgment or preconceptions. Observe how you feel in someone's presence. Do you feel calm, uplifted, and at ease, or do you feel drained, uneasy, or unsettled? Your own emotional and physical responses are powerful indicators of the energy they are projecting. By trusting your ability to sense energy, you unlock a deeper level of understanding in your interactions. This awareness not only helps you discern authenticity from deception, but also allows you to connect more meaningfully with those who carry positive, uplifting vibrations. Energy never lies, and when you learn to listen to it, you align yourself with the truth that lies beneath words and actions. In this alignment, you gain clarity, wisdom, and the ability to navigate the world with heightened insight and purpose. Patterns are the language of human behavior, silently communicating the intentions, priorities, and desires of an individual. While words and actions can sometimes be misleading in isolation, patterns, repeated behaviors over time paint a consistent picture of a person's true nature. These patterns are not accidental, they are deliberate expressions of what matters most to an individual, revealing their inner world to anyone observant enough to notice. Every choice a person makes, every habit they cultivate, and every reaction they display stems from their underlying values and priorities. For example, someone who consistently prioritizes their health through exercise and balanced eating is revealing that they value physical well-being and discipline. On the other hand, a person who repeatedly cancels plans or fails to follow through on commitments may be signaling a lack of prioritization for relationships or a struggle with personal responsibility. These behaviors, observed over time, provide invaluable insights into what drives an individual's decision-making. Pay attention to the recurring themes in someone's actions. A person who frequently speaks about their aspirations but takes no steps toward achieving them may reveal a gap between their desires and their willingness to act. Conversely, someone who quietly but consistently works toward a goal without needing validation or acknowledgement demonstrates determination and focus. Patterns are not just about what people do, but also about how they navigate the world, whether they approach life with integrity, resilience, and authenticity, or with avoidance, inconsistency, and self-interest. It is important to note that patterns often reveal what someone values most, even when their words suggest otherwise. A person might claim to value honesty, yet repeatedly tell small lies or avoid difficult truths. This inconsistency is a pattern that speaks louder than their stated beliefs. Similarly, someone might express a desire for deeper connections, yet repeatedly choose superficial interactions or avoid vulnerability. These behaviors highlight a deeper truth about their comfort zones and the priorities they are unwilling to compromise. Observing patterns also helps you identify intentions in relationships. In friendships, for instance, someone who consistently shows up in times of need, offers support, and communicates openly is revealing their intention to foster trust and loyalty. In contrast, a person whose actions fluctuate based on convenience or personal gain might be showing you that their commitment is conditional. The way people treat you repeatedly is not random, it is a reflection of their values and how they prioritize you in their life. To uncover these patterns, you must approach observation with patience and without judgment. Avoid forming conclusions based on isolated incidents. Instead, focus on the consistency of behaviors over time. A single mistake or a fleeting moment of weakness does not define a person, but a repeated pattern does. Patterns reveal the rhythm of a person's life, the choices they make without thinking, and the priorities they hold closest to their heart. When you learn to recognize patterns, you gain a profound tool for understanding the people around you. You can discern not only their intentions but also how their values align with your own. This awareness empowers you to build stronger, more authentic connections and navigate relationships with clarity and purpose. Patterns are the roadmap to a person's inner world, offering insight into their true self and guiding you toward deeper understanding. Silence is one of the most powerful forms of communication, often speaking volumes without a single word. While many focus on what is said in conversations, the moments of silence are equally, if not more, revealing. Silence carries meaning, whether intentional or unconscious, and understanding how someone uses silence can provide profound insights into their thoughts, emotions, and intentions. Far from being empty, silence is rich with significance, offering clues that words often conceal. When someone grows silent, it can signify discomfort. In moments of tension or conflict, silence may indicate avoidance or hesitation, as the individual grapples with emotions they are not ready to express. For example, when confronted with a difficult question, a person may pause not because they lack an answer, but because they fear the consequences of sharing it. The silence becomes a shield, protecting their vulnerability. Similarly, silence can emerge in situations where someone feels judged or overwhelmed, revealing their internal struggle to navigate the moment. These pauses, though seemingly unremarkable, are windows into their emotional state. It also reflects contemplation. When someone takes time before responding, it often means they are carefully considering their words or processing complex emotions. This type of silence is thoughtful and deliberate, signaling that the person values the conversation and wants to engage meaningfully. In these moments, silence is not avoidance but respect, a sign that they are giving the matter the attention it deserves. By allowing these pauses to unfold without interruption, you create space for deeper, more authentic exchanges. Yet silence can also conceal truth. There are times when silence is used to withhold information or to avoid revealing feelings. For example, when someone evades a direct question by remaining quiet, they may be signaling an unwillingness to confront the topic or a desire to keep something hidden. This strategic use of silence can be a form of control, guiding the conversation away from areas they find uncomfortable or exposing. It can also indicate internal conflict, where the person is torn between honesty and self-protection. Recognizing these silences requires sensitivity and an awareness of context, as they often carry more weight than spoken words. To truly understand the language of silence, you must be present and attuned to the nuances of the interaction. Observe not only the silence itself but also what precedes and follows it. Is the person avoiding eye contact, shifting uncomfortably, or showing signs of deep thought? These physical cues provide additional context for interpreting their silence. Equally important is your own response to silence. Are you rushing to fill the gap, or are you allowing it to breathe? By embracing the stillness, you create an environment where unspoken truths can emerge. Silence, when used consciously, can also be a tool of connection. Sitting quietly with someone in a shared moment of understanding can be as powerful as any conversation. It fosters trust and intimacy, showing that communication extends beyond words. Silence is not an absence but a presence, one that can deepen your awareness and understanding of others. By paying attention to how someone uses silence, you unlock a deeper layer of communication. Whether it signifies discomfort, contemplation, or concealed truth, silence reveals the unspoken narratives that shape a person's reality. It invites you to listen not just with your ears but with your intuition, opening the door to a richer, more nuanced understanding of the people around you. In the journey of understanding others, subtlety is your greatest ally. From the emotions mirrored in body language to the unspoken truths in silence, every interaction is layered with meaning. Patterns, energy, words, and even quiet moments are all windows into the deeper truths of those around you. By honing your awareness and trusting your intuition, you gain the ability to see beyond the surface, uncovering the priorities, intentions, and authenticity of those you encounter. The key lies in observation without judgment, patience over haste, and an open heart that seeks connection. These signs are not just tools for reading others, they are pathways to greater empathy, understanding, and alignment in your relationships. The more attuned you become, the more clarity and depth you will bring to every interaction. Thank you for allowing me to share these insights with you. May they guide you toward deeper connections and a richer understanding of the people in your life. Imagine for a moment that your presence is like the sun. It shines effortlessly, giving light and warmth to all it touches. The world revolves in harmony with your radiance, often unaware of the gift they are basking in. But what happens when the sun sets? Suddenly, the absence of light is felt, the chill of the night becomes unavoidable. This, my dear friends, is the essence of your absence. When you step away, the energy that you once poured so freely is no longer theirs to take for granted. They may not have noticed it while you were there, but now, in your absence, the value of your presence becomes undeniable. You see, your essence is unique. The love, the strength, and the wisdom you bring to others are irreplaceable. When you withdraw, the world they knew shifts. They feel the emptiness where your energy once stood. It's not about bitterness or punishment, it's about the law of reflection. The void you leave mirrors the depth of their attachment to your light. And here lies a profound truth: absence magnifies value. Often people are blind to what they have until it is gone. In the stillness of your withdrawal, they are forced to confront the impact you had. It is not your voice they miss, it is the life your presence breathed into their world. But this is not just about them. It is about you. When you step back, you reclaim your energy, redirecting it inward to nurture your own soul. This act of self-honor is the catalyst for your growth. And in doing so, you send a powerful message to the universe: you are not here to be drained or taken for granted. You are here to shine in alignment with your purpose. Do not doubt for a moment that they feel your absence. They feel it in the spaces you once filled. They feel it in the silence where your laughter used to ring. They feel it in the hollowness of their routines, once brightened by your light. Your absence is not the end of the story. It is the seed of transformation, both for you and for them. They may grow, or they may remain as they are. That is their journey to choose. Your task is to continue honoring the truth of who you are, knowing that your presence is a treasure, and even in your absence you remain unforgettable. Stand firm in this truth, and trust that your energy, once given so freely, is still felt, even when you are no longer there to give it. They are feeling your absence, not as a loss, but as a reminder of what they must cherish the next time your light graces their world. Your energy is the silent force that shapes the experiences of those around you. Whether you are aware of it or not, your presence has a profound impact on the lives you touch. It is not simply what you do or say, it is the essence of who you are that permeates every interaction. You are the source of their experience, the unseen thread that weaves meaning, comfort, and connection into their lives. This truth is often overlooked, for it is in human nature to take for granted what is constant. Yet, when you withdraw, the void you leave is undeniable, and only then do they begin to truly comprehend your significance. Think of your presence as a unique fragrance in a room. While you are there, it subtly fills the space, creating an ambience that people grow accustomed to. It becomes a part of their environment, a background harmony they rely upon but seldom consciously acknowledge. However, the moment you leave, the absence of that fragrance is felt sharply. The air seems empty, devoid of the richness it once held. This is what your energy does. It subtly, yet powerfully, influences the atmosphere of every relationship and space you inhabit. People may not always articulate it, but they are deeply affected by the energy you bring. Your laughter, your kindness, your wisdom, or even your quiet strength create ripples in their lives. These ripples often go unnoticed until they cease. When you withdraw, whether physically, emotionally, or energetically, it creates a shift. The absence of your presence is like a missing note in a melody. It disrupts the harmony they had unconsciously come to depend on. Your energy is not just irreplaceable, it is uniquely yours. No one else can replicate the blend of qualities, emotions, and vibrations that you bring to the table. This is why your absence cannot simply be filled by someone else. People may attempt to find substitutes, but the truth is that the essence of what you offer is singular. It is this singularity that makes the void you leave so profound. When you step back, they are forced to confront the reality that your presence was not something to be taken lightly. It was a gift, freely given, yet invaluable in its depth. This realization can be a jarring experience for those who have grown accustomed to your energy. In your absence, they may feel a sense of discomfort, a longing for the balance and warmth you once provided. This is not about power or control, it is about understanding the natural law of connection. What you bring to others is a reflection of your inner being, a manifestation of your love, compassion, and authenticity. When that energy is no longer accessible, it leaves an imprint, a reminder of what they may have overlooked or underappreciated. But let us not forget, your withdrawal is not merely about teaching others to value you. It is also about valuing yourself. There comes a time when the energy you give so freely must be redirected inward, nurturing your own spirit and replenishing your reserves. This is not selfishness, it is self-preservation. By stepping back, you create space to realign with your own needs, desires, and purpose. In doing so, you not only honor yourself, but also enhance the energy you bring to the world when you choose to re-engage. Understand that the void your absence creates is not just felt, it transforms. It forces others to confront their own dependency on your presence. It pushes them to grow, to reflect, and to recognize the irreplaceable value you bring. Some may resist this transformation, clinging to the comfort of the past. Others may rise to the occasion, becoming more aware and more appreciative of the energy you so generously shared. Your presence is a gift, and your absence a lesson. Both have their place in the tapestry of human connection. The undeniable void you leave behind is not a loss, it is a reminder of your irreplaceable light. When you understand this, you realize that your energy is sacred, and your presence, though freely given, is a treasure to be cherished. There is an inherent paradox in human relationships. We often fail to appreciate what we have until it is no longer within reach. This truth is woven into the very fabric of life, and nowhere is it more evident than in the dynamics of presence and absence. When you are there, offering your energy, love, and support, it can become so seamlessly integrated into someone's world that they fail to notice its true significance. Your contributions, though invaluable, can be overshadowed by the familiarity of their consistency. Yet when you step away, when your presence is no longer readily available, a remarkable shift takes place. The void left behind serves as a mirror, reflecting the depth of your worth and the uniqueness of your essence in ways your presence alone never could. Absence has a way of sharpening awareness. When you are no longer there, the subtleties of your influence become glaringly apparent. The warmth you brought to their days, the encouragement you offered in moments of doubt, or even the quiet strength of simply being there, these elements suddenly rise to the surface, no longer blended into the background of their lives. In the silence of your absence, the details they once overlooked are illuminated. It is as if a light has been cast on all the spaces you used to fill, making them realize how integral you were to their sense of balance and well-being. This is not a matter of manipulation or seeking validation, it is simply the nature of human perception. People often take for granted what feels constant and secure. Like the steady rhythm of a heartbeat, your presence becomes a quiet assurance in their lives, reliable and seemingly eternal. But when that rhythm ceases, they are left with an unfamiliar stillness, a silence that forces them to confront the reality of what they have lost. It is in this confrontation that the depth of your worth becomes undeniably clear. Absence also reveals something deeper, the uniqueness of your essence. While others may step into similar roles or attempt to fill the space you left, they cannot replicate what you brought to the table. Your energy, perspective, and way of connecting with others are uniquely yours. No one else can embody the precise combination of qualities that make you who you are. In your absence, people come to see that what they once viewed as replaceable is, in fact, irreplaceable. They begin to understand that your essence is singular, and that no one else can offer the same light and love in the way that you do. This realization often leads to a profound shift in their understanding of value. They see that the things they once dismissed as ordinary were, in truth, extraordinary. The laughter that echoed through shared moments, the wisdom you offered in times of need, the love you expressed in both words and actions, all of these elements take on a new significance in hindsight. What was once overlooked now becomes cherished, but only after it is no longer easily accessible. The lesson of absence is not just for them, it is also for you. When you step away, you are not simply giving others the chance to understand your worth, you are reclaiming your energy and affirming your own value. Absence becomes a tool for self-awareness, a reminder that your presence is a treasure, not to be taken lightly or given indiscriminately. It allows you to see how your energy affects the world around you and how deeply intertwined it is with the experiences of those who are fortunate enough to know you. In your absence, a transformation occurs. For those who truly value you, it becomes a moment of awakening, a chance to reflect, grow, and perhaps approach you with a renewed sense of appreciation and respect. For others, it may be a lesson in what they failed to nurture, leaving them to grapple with their own shortcomings. Either way, your absence serves as a powerful catalyst, sparking growth and introspection in ways that your presence alone never could. Absence is not a void but a revelation. It shines a light on what was hidden in plain sight, offering clarity to those who seek it and wisdom to those who are willing to learn. In your absence, the depth of your worth and the uniqueness of your essence are no longer obscured by familiarity. They become undeniable truths, etched into the hearts of those who once took them for granted. There is an unspoken power in withdrawal, a force that goes far beyond the act of merely stepping back. To withdraw is to reclaim your energy, to realign with your essence, and to remind both yourself and others of your inherent value. It is not an act of selfishness, but one of profound self-awareness. By redirecting your focus inward, you strengthen the bond you have with your true self, fortifying your spirit and grounding your identity. At the same time, your withdrawal awakens a longing in others, a recognition of the space you once filled and the unique energy only you could bring. When you withdraw, you create a pause in the constant flow of giving. Many people, knowingly or unknowingly, rely on the energy you provide, the encouragement, support, love, and presence that have become a staple in their lives. Over time, this reliance can lead to complacency. Your energy becomes so integral to their experience that they cease to notice its significance. In stepping back, you disrupt this dynamic, allowing others to experience the absence of what they had unconsciously taken for granted. This pause serves as a mirror, reflecting back to them the depth of your contributions. It forces them to confront the void left by your withdrawal, awakening a sense of longing and appreciation that may have been dormant. They begin to see you not as a given, but as a gift, a presence whose absence creates ripples that cannot be ignored. This realization can be a transformative moment, prompting others to reevaluate their own behavior and the way they interact with you. It is in this absence that they come to understand the unique qualities you bring and the irreplaceable role you play. But the power of withdrawal is not solely about others, it is primarily about you. In stepping back, you redirect the energy that has been flowing outward and turn it inward. This shift allows you to focus on your own needs, desires, and growth. It is a time for introspection, for reconnecting with your true self, and for nurturing the aspects of your being that may have been neglected in the act of constant giving. By reclaiming your energy, you strengthen your sense of identity and purpose, becoming more aligned with your inner truth. This inward focus is not a retreat from the world, but a recalibration. It is a way of ensuring that when you do engage with others, you do so from a place of authenticity and strength. By taking the time to reconnect with yourself, you ensure that the energy you offer is pure and intentional, rather than depleted or obligatory. Withdrawal then becomes an act of empowerment, a way of honoring your own value and maintaining the integrity of the connections you choose to nurture. Withdrawal allows you to set boundaries. It sends a clear message that your presence is not to be taken lightly or assumed as a constant. It establishes the importance of mutual respect and reciprocity in relationships. By stepping back, you create space for others to reflect on their own contributions and to meet you with the same level of energy and commitment that you have so generously given. The longing that others feel in your absence is not merely about missing your presence, it is also a catalyst for their growth. It prompts them to consider the ways in which they may have relied on you without reciprocating, and it challenges them to step up in ways they may not have before. Your withdrawal, then, is not a punishment, but a lesson, a chance for others to grow and for you to deepen your connection to yourself. In the silence of your withdrawal, both you and others find clarity. You gain a deeper understanding of your own worth and the energy you bring to the world. They in turn come to recognize the significance of your presence and the void left in its absence. This dynamic is a powerful reminder that true connection is not about constant availability, but about mutual respect, appreciation, and balance. The power of withdrawal lies in its ability to transform. It strengthens your bond with your true self while awakening others to the depth of your value. In stepping back, you do not diminish your impact, you amplify it, leaving an indelible mark that is felt even in your absence. Every interaction you have, every word you speak, and every gesture you make leaves an indelible mark on the minds of those you encounter. These impressions are not fleeting, they become part of the fabric of someone's inner world. Long after you have departed, the essence of your presence lingers, echoing in their thoughts and emotions. What you bring to another's life, whether through love, kindness, or strength, leaves an imprint that cannot easily be erased. In fact, the absence of your presence often serves to amplify the awareness of your significance, bringing into sharp focus the impact you once had. When you are present, your influence may go unnoticed, blending seamlessly into the daily rhythm of life. People may not consciously register the depth of what you contribute, your warmth, your support, or even the steadiness you provide. This is the nature of familiarity. The more constant and reliable something is, the more likely it is to be taken for granted. Yet when you are no longer there, the subtle yet profound impressions you left behind rise to the surface. It is in this void that your significance becomes undeniable. The mind has a way of holding on to what it values, even if it does not always articulate that value in the moment. When your presence is removed, the impressions you created begin to resonate more strongly. Memories become sharper, details more vivid, and emotions more pronounced. They may remember the way you made them feel, a sense of comfort, inspiration, or even challenge that pushed them to grow. These feelings, once part of the background of their lives, now take center stage in your absence. What makes these impressions eternal is their ability to evoke not just memories but transformation. The things you did or said, the ways in which you were there for them, or even the lessons you inadvertently taught through your actions, all of these leave a legacy in their consciousness. They may find themselves replaying moments of connection, realizing the depth of your influence in ways they had not considered before. It is as though your presence becomes larger in your absence, magnified by the clarity that comes when something is no longer readily available. This amplification of your significance is not limited to relationships of closeness or intimacy. Even fleeting encounters can leave lasting impressions. A kind word shared at the right moment, an act of generosity, or a simple smile has the power to linger in someone's mind for years. You may never fully know the impact you have had on others, but the truth is that your energy and actions ripple outward, creating echoes that endure long after you are gone. The eternal nature of impressions also speaks to the unique essence you bring to every interaction. No two individuals are the same. and no one else can replicate the specific combination of qualities that make you who you are. This uniqueness is what makes the impressions you leave so powerful. Others may attempt to fill the space you once occupied, but they cannot replace you. The mind, in its quiet reflection, recognizes this irreplaceability and holds on to the essence of who you are with reverence. While the awareness of your significance grows in your absence, it is important to remember that the impressions you leave are a reflection of who you are at your core. They serve as a testament to your energy, character, and the love or light you bring into the world. Knowing this, you are reminded of the responsibility and power that come with every interaction. What you leave behind in the minds of others is not just a shadow of your presence, but a spark of your essence, one that can inspire, uplift, and transform. For those who experience the void of your absence, the impressions you left behind become a source of growth and introspection. They are invited to consider how they valued you, how they reciprocated, and how they might approach relationships differently in the future. Your absence, far from diminishing your impact, becomes a catalyst for deeper understanding and change. The impressions you leave are not confined to the moment. They are woven into the lives of others, shaping their perspectives and memories in profound ways. Even when you are no longer physically present, your essence remains, a quiet yet powerful reminder of the significance you hold in their lives. This is the eternal nature of impressions. They transcend time, ensuring that your presence is felt even in your absence. The gifts of love, support, and energy that you once gave freely were never just gestures. They were the essence of your presence, radiating into the lives of those around you. These offerings, given without conditions or expectations, wove themselves into the fabric of others' daily experiences. They became the invisible threads that held them steady, reassured them in times of doubt, and brought light to their darkest moments. Yet, as often happens with gifts freely given, their true value can be overlooked until they are no longer there. It is in your absence that the depth of what you gave becomes undeniably clear, leaving a void that acts as a mirror, reflecting the extent to which others depended on the love and energy you shared. When you are present, the support and love you provide can feel effortless to those who receive them. They become part of the background, a constant source of comfort that many come to expect. People rarely pause to consider the source of the energy that uplifts them. They simply bask in its warmth, assuming its presence as a given. But when you step away, when you no longer pour your essence into the lives of others, the absence of your energy becomes palpable. The void left behind is not just an emptiness, it is a powerful reflection of what was once there. Others begin to feel the weight of what they had been given. The love you extended so freely now stands in stark contrast to its absence, making it impossible for them to ignore its significance. They may replay moments of connection, suddenly aware of how deeply your presence enriched their lives. What once seemed effortless now feels irreplaceable as they grapple with the realization of just how much they leaned on your energy to feel whole. This reflection is not merely about longing, it is about awakening. In your absence, others are forced to confront their own patterns of dependence. The mirror you leave behind reveals the ways in which they may have taken your gifts for granted, relying on your support without fully appreciating its source. They begin to see the imbalance, their unquestioned acceptance of what you gave versus their own efforts to reciprocate. This awareness can be uncomfortable, but it is also transformative, offering them an opportunity to grow. For you, the act of stepping back is not about withholding, but about realigning. It is about recognizing the need to conserve your energy and redirect it inward, nurturing your own spirit rather than constantly giving to others. This withdrawal is an act of self-love, a way of honoring your own worth and ensuring that the gifts you offer come from a place of abundance rather than depletion. By stepping back, you give others the chance to not only appreciate what you provided, but also to recognize their own capacity to stand on their own. When you step away, something profound happens. Your absence creates a shift, a pause in the rhythm of others' lives that forces them to confront themselves in ways they might have otherwise avoided. It removes the safety net they once leaned on, compelling them to face the gaps in their own growth. In this vacuum, they are given a choice to rise, evolve, and become stronger, or to remain stagnant, clinging to old patterns that no longer serve them. Your absence, far from being a void, becomes a catalyst for transformation, challenging those you leave behind to reevaluate their paths and the roles they play in their own lives. When you are present, your energy often acts as a buffer, a source of comfort and guidance that shields others from the full weight of their responsibilities. Your love, support, and wisdom provide a sense of stability, a grounding force that makes their challenges feel less daunting. Yet, as nurturing as this may be, it can also create a kind of dependency, one that keeps them from fully stepping into their own power. Your withdrawal removes this external support, forcing them to rely on themselves in ways they may never have done before. In the absence of your presence, people are left with their own reflections. They begin to see themselves more clearly, without the lens of your influence softening their view. This can be an uncomfortable process, as it often reveals areas where they have fallen short, unaddressed insecurities, unresolved conflicts, or unrealized potential. But discomfort is the seedbed of growth. It is through facing these truths that they are given the opportunity to rise, to become more self-aware, and to take ownership of their lives. The transformation sparked by your absence is not immediate, nor is it always linear. Some may resist the process, choosing instead to dwell in frustration or longing. They may blame external circumstances or even you for the challenges they now face, failing to see the invitation for growth hidden within the experience. Others, however, will rise to the occasion. They will take the discomfort as a sign that it is time to change, to confront their fears and limitations, and to step into a higher version of themselves. This process of rising often begins with introspection. In your absence, people are prompted to ask deeper questions about their lives and their choices. What did they rely on you for? What did your presence provide that they must now cultivate within themselves? These questions, though difficult, lead to greater self-awareness and a clearer understanding of their own strengths and weaknesses. They begin to realize that the qualities they admired in you, your strength, wisdom, or compassion, are not beyond their reach. They too can embody these qualities, but it requires effort, discipline, and a willingness to grow. For some, your absence becomes the turning point in their journey. It pushes them to take risks, to explore new paths, and to embrace the unknown. Without the comfort of your guidance, they are forced to trust themselves and their own instincts. This can be a daunting prospect, but it is also deeply empowering. As they begin to rely on their own inner resources, they discover strengths they never knew they had. They learn to navigate challenges with resilience and to find clarity in moments of doubt. Yet not everyone will rise. Some may choose to remain stagnant, unwilling or unable to confront the changes your absence demands of them. They may cling to the past, hoping that things will return to the way they were, or they may retreat into old habits that offer a false sense of security. This, too, is a choice, one that reflects their current level of awareness and readiness for growth. While it may be difficult to witness, it is not your responsibility to carry them forward. Transformation is a deeply personal journey, and not everyone is ready to take the steps required. For those who do rise, your absence becomes a profound gift. It teaches them to value their own strength and to see challenges as opportunities for growth. It shows them that while your presence was a blessing, their own inner power is the true source of their transformation. In this way, your withdrawal is not an end, but a beginning, a catalyst that propels them toward a greater understanding of themselves and their potential. Your absence is a mirror and a challenge. It reflects back to others the areas where they must grow and pushes them to make a choice to rise and transform, or to remain where they are. While the process may be uncomfortable, it is also a profound act of love. By stepping back, you honor your own journey while empowering others to take ownership of theirs. And in the end, whether they rise or remain stagnant, the seeds of transformation you have planted will continue to grow, shaping their lives in ways that may not yet be visible but are undeniably powerful. In the grand tapestry of life, your presence is not just a fleeting experience, but a profound force that shapes the lives of those you touch. Through your absence, you create a sacred space where others are compelled to confront their own truths, embrace their strengths, and grow into their fullest potential. It is in this withdrawal that your true value is illuminated, and the gifts you once gave freely become a mirror for reflection, gratitude, and transformation. Your energy is precious, your essence irreplaceable. By stepping back, you honor your own worth while empowering others to rise to the challenge of self-discovery and growth. Whether they rise or choose to remain stagnant, the seeds you have sown through your presence and your absence will continue to influence and inspire, rippling through their lives in ways both seen and unseen. Thank you for embracing the beauty and power of your journey, and for sharing this exploration of the impact you leave in your wake. May you continue to shine brightly, both in your presence and in the spaces you create through your absence.